Okay, here's the layout I'm doing with the crepe paper style board paper pad. I've been working hard to kill that pad. And these are some photos of my daughter's new horse that we went to get. And what I decided to do was create a kind of a tile background where I used two pattern papers and covered most of the background in the two pattern papers in a tile pattern like this. And I used the blue floral just because I thought it worked with my daughter and it looked nice with the other paper, and then the paper that had the little horses on it because it's appropriate for this layout. And here I'm just gluing down my tile pattern. And I'm using PVA glue for that. This is a stencil from Recollections that has kind of a chevron, and I'm using flexible molding paste, and I'm just creating kind of a center. A center pattern over that. I'm using fired brick to color that, and I'm just going to smear it around the outside like that. And then a watercolor brush to kind of activate. Looks like I have two fired brick pads. I'm going to have to give one to a friend. So I'm just activating it. Because that is about the color that's in the horse pattern. And then I've got this Lumiere red gold paint. And that's an acrylic paint that has perlix in it basically, and I add a little water and just kind of put that in some places. Not everywhere, but just some places. And then I'm dabbing it off with this basically just toilet paper, and it's driving me crazy. I wish I had paper towels, but I didn't. So, and then I set it aside to dry, and I start working on my photo cluster because I have 3 pictures and I want to put them all on this mat. This paper is some club scrap paper. It's cut kind of a creamy natural color to it and has some little twigs and whatnot in it. Excuse me. And I'm going to be trimming that down so that it's just one block of photos. So then I'm looking at it and I'm not liking the background very much, so I want to cover more of it. It was okay, and it looks okay peeking out of the little areas, but I decided to distress everything in the same fired brick just to give it a little continuity. And I start looking for papers that will go well with those papers, so I decided to use the brown heart paper because it goes with the title of the layout, and then this award paper because that's, you know, like horse show type thing. And I set the award paper aside, and I decide to gut the brown heart paper because there's only one in that collection of the brown heart paper. It's like every other one they gave you two of or something. It's kind of interesting. So I'm just cutting down these little L-shaped pieces so that they can go around the photo. And then I realized the one that I had was the wrong direction, so the hearts wouldn't go the right direction, so I cut another one. And I'm going to glue those onto that paper mat, that photo mat, along the edges. Just like that. Then I go and I get the scraps from having created the tile background, and I'm going to add those to the outside of this mat too to make it complete. Just like that. And I really like this sort of eclectic way to frame a picture. That's just a tiny piece, so I have to tuck it in. Now I think I'm ready to put it on the layout because it covers a lot more of that background that sort of was disastrous. And I decided to pop it up on foam tape. I think the foam tape helps it to stick when there's a lot of texture. Also, it helps, you know, when the layout's really textured for the photo to float over the texture, the photo block. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm just applying my photo block. And I go ahead and I distress around the outside. And I'm trying to figure out what to do, thinking about it. Maybe put that paper there. No. And then I start thinking about the journaling block. So I grab that club scrap paper and I trim it down to make a little journaling block. I'm going ahead and I'm putting my lines on. And I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling on there. And it just talks about how my daughter had outgrown her pony. And so we had gone to look for a larger pony. He didn't turn out to be a pony. He's been growing since we got him, so he's a full-sized horse, but he was a pony when we looked at him. He was just a larger pony. But that's okay, because she's grown a lot too this year, and she's almost taller than I am now. So, and Rhiannon had said when she met him that he put a hoof print on her heart, so that's where we got the title of this particular layout. So now that I've got the journaling down, I'm starting to think about the title and other parts of it. And I had to walk away for a while. And while I walked away, I cut those those letters out of a Tim Holtz die, and that stamp is a Unity stamp that I stamped and colored in with Distress ink. And then I cut out little phrases from the cut apart sheet on the paper, and those are all those little phrases that are sort of lining the sides of the photos. They see things like cute and precious and I love you and hey there and happy and life is good. I was really excited to find this Tim Holtz die at Joann on clearance. It's one of those big, super long dies, and it was only $20, so it was a really, really good deal. And I don't really like thickers because you inevitably run out of letters. So this is my solution to a thicker, because I love the shape of these letters, and I can make them any color, any texture that I want. I can do all kinds of things with them. So that's why I like the die. It only takes 10 packages of thickers to buy a die. So I figure if I use it 10 times, I have gotten my money out of it. These little tiny letters are from a really old Stampin' Up! Set where they put them all on one stamp and then you were supposed to just cut them out. And to me, that's just like using a small letter sticker. Only, again, you don't run out of the ones you need. You only make the ones you need, which to me is awesome. And I actually found that particular set, it has 4 different fonts. I found it at a thrift store for practically nothing. I think it was like $2 for the whole set, so that was really bonus. So then I'm putting my hoof prints on my heart there. And then I'm using Triple Thick by Americana, and that's a lot like Glossy Accents, only a lot cheaper. And you have to paint it on. So I'm using a paintbrush to paint the Triple Thick onto all of the little word strips that I cut out of the paper, out of the die cut page, because then it's almost like you have epoxy stickers. I'm almost done with the layout. I was excited to use that new Unity stamp with the horse and the little girl. I just love that stamp, and I just picked it up recently. And that's the layout. I'll have some close-ups here in a minute. You can't really see it from the distance, but I also did do a zigzag stitch around the outside with my sewing machine. So here's a close-up of the title. And you can see those little letter stamps. And there's a close-up of the stamped image. It came out so pretty. And there's a close-up of a cut apart, some cut aparts from the paper pad, and a few more cut aparts from the paper pad. Have a good day.